Okay. Just waiting for some people to pop onto the live. Today we'll be doing an intuitive reading, messages that are coming through right now. I did pull some cards this morning, which I don't usually do, but this morning I had the urge, I had the feeling that I needed to ask for guidance through working with the tarot. And this is something I haven't done in a while, but today it felt right. And I only ever pull tarot cards when it really feels aligned, when it feels like it needs to be done. Because if I pull them every day, I don't feel like the messages are as potent as when I just feel like I need to do it and it feels fully aligned for me. So I did that this morning. I did my own tarot spread, and I also did a little spread for what the collective needs, what whoever is coming onto this live today. My intention was to ask Spirit, to ask my angels, to ask my guides, God, universe, source, creator, whatever. Please guide me on what the people who are coming onto this live need to hear today. And so I am trusting that the message that came through is going to be the message that whoever joins this live needs to hear today. And so that's what we will be diving into. Just waiting for a few people to come on, and then I'll get straight into it and let you guys know what came through. And you can also put your, involve yourself in the conversation. Let me know if it is resonating. If it's not, of course, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And let me know what is resonating. Let me know if there's anything you want me to dive into deeper. And yeah, let's all just take a deep breath before we go in, because I really think it's important for us to take a deep breath. And this is actually something that came through in the reading that I did this morning. Hello, welcome. So someone just said, what are we doing today? I literally just did a little explanation, but I'll do it again as there's more people on here now. So this morning I pulled some tarot cards. I did a spread for myself, and then I did a spread for the collective. And so my intention was to ask my angels, my guides, my spiritual team, what does the people that are joining this live today, what do they need to hear? And so that's what I'm going to be going through and sharing with you guys, what came through with the cards and what I intuitively think needs to be heard, just coming from the energy that I got from the cards. And so one of the themes in the cards that came through was worrying and overthinking about what could go wrong. And so if you're watching this, it may be that you are experiencing a lot of negativity in your mind, that you have been focusing your energy a lot on what is not going right in your life, focusing your energy on what is going wrong, what you do not have, all of the negative. And this has become a spiral. This has become a negative loop, and it is taking up a lot of your energy field. And so this is, welcome everybody, by the way. I'm literally just diving into this. So if you've just joined, I was saying earlier that I pulled some cards this morning, and I'm just sharing with you guys what came through and my intuitive messages to help whoever's joining this live. Because the question that I asked Spirit this morning, the question that I asked my angels, God, source, whatever you want to call it, was, what does the people that are joining this live, what do they need to hear today? And so, as I was saying, one of the cards that came up was I think it was the 7 of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the 9 of Swords. And as you can see in this card, It's the energy of this card is like worrying. She's got her head in her hands. She's literally consumed by negativity and negative thoughts. And so if this is you right now, I invite you to just take a moment of stillness. Whenever we have lots of negativity consuming our energy field, it's because we've become completely identified with the worries, the stress about what could go wrong in the future, what isn't going right now. And so we need to interrupt that pattern somehow. We need to find a way to stop feeding whatever narrative we are feeding with our minds. And so maybe you're worrying about what's not going right, maybe you're thinking about what's not going right in your life. Maybe you're worrying about how things are going to turn out, how things are going to turn out on a big scale with the world, with the earth, with the AI situation. You know, there's a lot of negativity being fed into the collective. Thank you so much for your donation, William Thompson. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. The wars. It's so easy for us to become so consumed with all of the negativity that is being pushed onto us through the media. And also just by observing humanity, the collective, it's very easy to get bogged down in all the negativity. And so we need to take a moment of stillness. We need to take a moment to just realign our energy. Remember that your energy is currency. That every day you get a fresh, new source of currency. Sorry, is source the right word? Every day you get a fresh currency, let's say every day you get like 100 grand, right? And that's your energy for the day. We want to be aware of what are we spending our currency on? What are we spending our energy on, our time on, our attention on? Thoughts use energy. And so we use our energetic currency on thoughts. And so depending on which thoughts we are feeding, we are either going to be using our energy to invest in our lives or to drain ourselves. Welcome, everyone. I'm saying hello because I'm seeing some familiar names. Badger, School of Foraging, lovely to see you. Hey, Michael. Hey, everybody. But I don't want to lose my train of thought, but yes. So just a reminder of where are we spending our energy, and if our energy is being used on worries, on stress, then that is going to drain us. And we may be feeling drained. We may be feeling low. We may feel a dark cloud around us. We may feel like doom, like everything's going to go wrong. And that's because we're feeding our energy and our thoughts into everything that's going wrong, everything that could go wrong, all the possibilities that could go wrong. But we've got to remember and wake up to is when we are unconsciously feeding our energy into what can go wrong, we actually run the risk of manifesting that. For example, if we are feeding our energy into worrying that someone's going to cheat on us, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. We start acting out, we start saying things, we start acting in ways and that are not for our highest good. And so we want to realign ourselves so that we don't end up manifesting the thing that we are so afraid of manifesting. Because you've got to remember that the way this universe works is the energy. We are powerful creative beings. Every single one of us here needs to be reminded that we are powerful creative beings. Every single one of you. And when you wake up to your own power, you start to remind others of their power. And so remember that that is also your power. So just let that sink in, that you are a creative, powerful being, and every single moment you are creating with your thoughts. And so if you're noticing that your thoughts are going towards what could go wrong, let's start to realign our thoughts to, okay, but what could go right? Because we need to balance out the energies. Your emotions, your body is always telling you where your mind is placed. How are you feeling? Listen to how you're feeling, because your feelings are connected to your thoughts. It's a loop. A feeling creates a thought creates a feeling. But how do we stop that loop? We come into the present moment, we take a breath. We choose to be conscious with our thoughts. We choose where we're going to direct our thoughts. So I've noticed that I've been thinking about what could go wrong, and that's okay. Sometimes we need to allow ourselves to do that for a short period of time. But we need to wake up when we're doing it. We can't just become so identified with what's going wrong. You might have noticed that you've been doing this for the last 24 hours, for the last week, for however long. And remind yourself that's okay. If you've caught yourself in that spiral, that's okay. You're human. We all do it. But once you've become aware of it, we bring ourselves back. And we balance out those energies by focusing on what could go right, what is going right, what is going well for me right now, what is the lesson, whatever situation I'm in right now, whatever challenge I'm in right now, how quickly can I bring myself into the lesson? How is this making me stronger? How is this making me more aware? How is this making me more of a powerful being? What am I noticing about myself through this situation? What am I noticing about myself that could be upgraded through this situation? Every challenge is an opportunity. How can I see this as an opportunity to learn? What can I do to improve my life and the people around me, their life? What can I do to improve the situation that I'm in? So one of the cards that I got this morning was the Emperor, and something I just said reminded me of something about this card, and that is that when we are thinking about all of these different things, for example, what is going wrong in our lives, that's what the ego likes to do. It even says this in A Course of Miracles, that the ego focuses on what we don't have. So we want to, when we realize that we've got stuck in this cloud, in this we've got stuck in this cycle, we want to start using our mind in a more efficient and necessary way, because usually what's happening when we become very unconscious is we're having so many unnecessary thoughts. So how can we bring our attention to only the essential? How can we use our energy, our powerful energy, to uplift ourselves and humanity, to uplift the collective? Maybe we want to work on ourselves first. If we're feeling really low, we want to start going inwards, turning inwards. Let this be a reminder right now, guys, that we all need to be turning inwards. We all need to be listening to what our inner self is telling us, what our higher self is telling us. Ask for your higher self to come in and assist you, and watch how this shifts your life. Ask your higher self to guide you. And then listen. We want to be going inwards and listening right now. And that's going to also create a gap between the thoughts. Start to listen to that gap, the gap in between thoughts. What is in that gap? The void. That's where all creativity and inspiration, true inspiration, flowers from, the creative void. So if we're thinking, if we're using all our energy up with negativity, if we're unconsciously using our energy up with all these worries, then there isn't room for inspiration to flourish. Guys, tell me, is this resonating with you? Have you been worrying a lot? Have you noticed yourself having a lot of dark thoughts that are weighing you down? Let me know in the chat if this is something that is resonating with you. So the Emperor, the one I pulled earlier, the advice from the Emperor is to claim your authority. What does that mean for you? When I say those words, claim your authority, how does that feel in your body? Is it something that creates a block within you, or does that switch something on for you? Does that light something up for you? How can I claim my authority in whatever it is that I'm doing on this earth, what I came to this earth to do? How can I claim my authority in that area? Whether it's a relationship, a career. How can I claim my authority in a positive way? Maybe you guys actually want to be leaders in some way, because this is a theme that came through for me this morning when I was asking what the people on the live needed to hear. It was about leadership. So maybe there is a connected field between us that we're wanting to be leaders in some area in our lives. What is that area in your life that you want to be a leader in? Or maybe you already are leading in. How can you really claim your authority in that area of your life? Okay. Another thing that the Emperor is reminding us of is problem solving from a calm space. So really looking at whatever issue we are dealing with, whatever challenge we are currently dealing with, looking at it and breaking it down into its smaller parts, and then finding solutions by consciously looking at it, finding ways to really map out the actions that we need to map out in order to resolve whatever it is that we are currently dealing with. So maybe our mind is really focused on, maybe we have an issue in our lives, right? Maybe we have a challenge that we are facing, an obstacle that we are facing. Maybe we know that we are meant to be leading in some way. We know that we are meant to have authority in some area in our lives, and we're coming up against a challenge. And this challenge may have sparked worries. It may have put us into a downward spiral. Okay, this is what can happen, is we hit a challenge, and the way that we react to this challenge is telling us a lot about our current state of consciousness. Something that is coming up that needs to be refined. It's showing us a part of ourselves that is ready to be shifted and transformed. This challenge is doing that. But what can happen a lot of the time is we get bogged down. So when this challenge triggers this part of us that maybe is in fear or afraid, or coming back to those worries about what's going to happen, something bad is going to happen, or maybe the challenge has triggered some financial fear within you, this fear of lack, things are going to go wrong for me, fear of success. It could be so many different things, especially if we are wanting to be leaders, if we are wanting to have authority in some areas of our lives. Maybe you want to share with others something that you have learned in your lives, something that has really touched you, something that has really impacted you. And then we've come up against this obstacle. Maybe this obstacle is like you're perceiving lack of opportunities, or you're finding that it's almost like it feels impossible in a way. It feels like whatever it is that you want to do, this vision that you have, feels impossible, and this is causing you to notice that there's a part of you that is in fear and that is coming up with all the reasons why you shouldn't do it, all the reasons why we need to stop what we're doing. I lost my train of thought, but it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back. Okay, so yes. So we were saying about how when challenges come up, so what we can do then, if this is happening, if you've noticed that this is happening, and you've noticed yourself go into this darker place. So we want to, first of all, become aware of what is the thoughts that I'm having. You can, like, some actionable steps that you can take, tangible things that you can do, is to write down the thoughts that you're having, get them out. Take this as a sort of ritual to, it's almost like you're burning up the energy. You're going to write it all down. You're going to say, okay, this is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm noticing is happening in my body. And then you're going to separate what is truth from illusion. And you can ask God to help you with this. God, help me to separate truth from illusion in my mind. Shine light on anything that is illusion in my mind. Help me to see the truth right now. This is how we refine, guys. This is how we refine. And this is why nothing that is coming out of you and nothing that you're experiencing is bad. It's just that we need to become aware of it. When we're unaware of it, that's when it starts to create havoc in our lives. And so if you've come on this live, this is because there is something that you are focusing on that you need to become aware of in order to shift out of it, in order to literally transform what it is that is coming up. And so, as I said, you can journal it all out if you want to. You can meditate. You can literally just listen to what's going on. Observe the mind. Observe the thoughts that are coming in and out like clouds passing in the sky. We're not judging ourselves. We're not creating more negativity by judging ourselves. We are literally observing, noticing what's coming up, allowing ourselves to become more aware of our inner world, and then refocusing our energy. And we're just taking a pause just to take that in. Is this resonating, guys? Of course, take what is resonating, leave what isn't. I'm just sharing with you whatever is coming up right now. Okay. Something that is really important as well, guys, that came up in the reading that I did this morning was that the need to take time to rest and to recharge. Now, this all comes back to when we have gone on these negative spirals, when we've noticed ourselves going down into a dark place. This is a reminder right now for whoever is hearing this, needs to take time to rest, to recharge. Maybe you have been on a hamster wheel. Maybe you have been working really, really hard and you've been doing long hours and you've been putting a lot of energy into your work. If that is something that you have been doing, it's time to rest and recharge. Allow yourself, take this as a permission from the universe. It is okay to rest. You need to rest. You need to allow yourself to take time in your day to rest. Otherwise, you will get burnt out. And all of us need to be reminded sometimes that it is okay to rest. It's okay. And not even okay. It is necessary. It is essential that we rest and recharge. We are not robots. We are not... literally, we are not robots. We are not machines. We are part of nature. And every part of nature needs its time to rest and recharge and replenish. And during that time is where we can quiet our mind and listen to what the higher self is saying. Listen to what our inner world is telling us. Okay? Taking a deep breath into the belly and then releasing. Letting it all go. Having a social media detox. Okay, guys. This is all about really looking after our inner worlds when we have been taking in a lot of information. It is time to allow that information to process. Can you imagine if you were like feeding, I didn't think about this, is like when I'm playing a video game on my laptop, right? If you've got lots and lots of information that needs to be processed and you haven't got enough space in that computer, it's going to clog up. It can't process so much information at once, and we are the same. So if we've been taking in lots and lots of information, we'll start to overheat. We'll start to like not like in a metaphorical sense, we'll start to clog up and get very tired and drained, and like what that does to our system is very draining. And so we need to think about how much information are we taking in. It's why meditation has taught me so much about the information that I'm taking in, because I can literally watch my mind processing what it is that I've taken in that day. I'm watching my mind processing it. So if I watched a YouTube video, even just one YouTube video, I notice my mind processing that information for the rest of the night, or for however long it takes to process it, coming out in the dreams. That's why if you watch stuff too close to the bedtime, it's likely to come out in your dreams, because your mind is processing whilst you're sleeping. And so taking time out before we sleep, an hour before bed, completely off social media. I'd say 2 hours. Like, don't go on social media before bed at all. Use that time to go inwards. Guys, this is going to have a very, very positive impact on your life. I cannot stress this enough. How going inwards and finding space in your internal world will have a positive impact in your life. You have to trust. And we all need to be doing this work. You can tell the people that are not doing the work. You can see who, like, we can feel it. That we are all becoming more and more intuitive. We are becoming more psychic, and we are becoming more sensitive, especially the ones that are doing the work. But the ones that are not doing the work are going to feel this, but there's going to be a lot of resistance. Resistance to feeling what's actually going on, and that is going to create so much tension that there is no longer a choice to look away. This is what happens when we look away for so long. The universe brings us into situations where you can't look away anymore. So you don't want to get to that point. You don't want to have to be put in a situation by the universe where you have no option but to look at your shit. You want to be practicing that before that happens. And so this is how we create more of a peaceful and enjoyable experience on the planet for ourselves and for others around us. Focusing our energy within. At this time, the messages that I am receiving from the cards that I pulled this morning, okay, is to relax your body. Find a way to relax your body. Guys, can you just tell me right now, have any of you been resisting rest? Just say yes on the chat if you've been resisting rest, or if you have some resistance around rest, if you have some block around rest and relaxation. Have you been on the hamster wheel? Say yes in this chat now if you have been on the hamster wheel, if you have been working very hard, if you feel like you're on the brink of burnout. Can you let me know? And yes, we're getting a lot of yeses. Yep. Yep. Okay, someone said no, but that's okay. There's way more yeses. Yes. Rest feels like death. Oh, okay. Interesting that you say that. When you say rest feels like death, can you explain what you mean by that? Is that like in terms of, are you resisting rest? Or is it like when you rest, you notice that your body, okay, something that I notice, guys, when we have been on the hamster wheel, you've got to imagine your body is like being shaken up. And when you rest, you have to deal and you have to feel that feeling of like everything settling. And that can be very uncomfortable. So when we, not only, it's so crazy how this happens. I literally noticed this happened to me the other day. I'm like running around doing so many things, getting so many things done, and like resisting this rest, but I know I need to rest. My body is saying, sit the fuck down. Like, you need to fucking sit down. And so I sat down and I noticed my body, like my energy is still not, it's almost like it takes a moment for your energy to adjust to the restful state. And so you're in this in-between state when you actually first sit down. You're in this state of noticing your energy is still like this. Like, that's the way I can describe it. Your thoughts are like this as well, like crazy. Like, there's lots of things being produced in your mind, processing, especially if you've been creating a lot, you've been dealing with a lot of people in your job, you've been doing a lot of output or whatever it is you've been doing. All of that needs to be processed as we sit down. And that can be uncomfortable. That can be like almost like feel the need to get up again, because I don't want to actually have to feel all of this whatever is being processed right now. But trust me, guys, when you do this, when you allow yourself to feel that feeling of restlessness, you will start to calm down and you will start to have this experience of actual restfulness. And when I say rest, guys, I don't mean watch TV. I do not mean sit on your phone and scroll. We are not taking in more information. Maybe you want to put on some calming music. Maybe you want to put on some 432 hertz, these frequencies that are very good for calming our nervous systems down. Use these frequencies, these sounds, as an ally on your journey to calm you down. Spa music, wind chimes, hand pan, this kind of music, or whatever music calms you down. It doesn't need to be the things that I'm suggesting. This is what helps me to calm down. But there is scientific research around the resonance of these frequencies, 5 to 8 hertz, 432 hertz. You can type in binaural beats on YouTube and use this, because as you sit down and you're feeling the restlessness and you're feeling this resistance to resting, your body starts to attune to the frequencies that you have on around you. And so listening to your body, watching your body, observe your body as you attune to these frequencies, taking deep breaths, trusting that as you take these deep breaths, as you bring your attention into your body, trusting that you are calming down, you're coming to a more calmful space, you're creating more space in your system. And that it is okay to rest. Also, by the way, guys, something that's very important when it comes to rest, because there is a cycle of creation, okay? Rest is where we reassess. So yes, of course, it is important to rest so that we can recharge our energy, so that we can come back to our work with more passion, with more energy, literally, more focus. But when we rest, we reassess what we just did. Okay? We get we just got so much information from what we were doing, from the output that we were putting in, from the interactions that we were having with other people, from all the energy that we were putting into our work. We come into restfulness, and then we create space and we have time to reflect. Reflecting on, okay, what is going well? what is not going so well. Remember, we're not over focusing on what is not going well, but we are looking at both, and we're using our minds to consciously reassess how we're going to move forwards, how we're going to maybe find solutions to whatever obstacle is currently in our way. Maybe there are certain obstacles that we are facing at this moment in time. And so at first we want to just listen to all of that. We just want to listen to the information that is being offered up to us. Because a lot of the time as well, what happens is we've been on the hamster wheel for so long, we start to have how do I say it? It's like things start to come up that we need to pay attention to in order for us to make more educated and more informed decisions of how we're going to move forwards and we're going to reach our goals, literally. Okay, let me see if there's anything else that I wrote down. Okay, so this is what I wrote down. Creating calm out of chaos by breaking the problem down into its parts and then mapping out actions to resolve. So some questions that you can be asking yourself during this time. Okay, guys, I will get to the questions in a minute. I'm just going to finish this and then we'll answer the questions. I'm taking a mental note of how do you stop procrastinating. And that is actually very tied into what we're talking about here. So we'll get to it. So some questions that you can ask yourself is, how can I step into my power right now? As you take this rest and time for reflection, you might want to journal. If that's something that you enjoy doing. I love writing. I love journaling. I find it's a very, 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 very great practice. You can also ask yourself, what roles do structure and organization play in my life? So there's a theme of structure and organization coming up here. And this is something that I find comes hand in hand with rest. When I'm taking that period of rest, I'm often restructuring. Looking at, okay, how did the last period of my life go? Because there may have been a period of putting a lot of energy into something. And now it's time to take a break, which a lot of us resist doing, especially if we've been on the ball and it felt really good to be really productive, right? So, but know that this time is an opportunity as well. That it's very productive to rest. Know that remind yourself that rest is productive, okay? Please remind yourself of that. That it is also productive to rest. And as we take that rest and we ask ourselves these questions like, how can I step into my power, for example? And how can I use organization to restructure? I also have this like image in my head of like when there's this cycle of like I'll organize, plan, and then I will execute. And through that execution, the organization becomes like almost messed up, and so we have to reorganize again. It's like when you have to it's the same with like our physical world, right? I often will reorganize all of my drawers in my room, and then after I've allowed myself to use them for a few months, they become unorganized again. And so then it's time to reorganize again. And it's always different every single time. Every single time that we reorganize, things are improved from the last time, because we executed on the plan that we created when we last took a break. When we last took a break, we found a new plan. And so we've executed on that plan, but then things have become unorganized again. And we have to find a new plan using the wisdom that we gained from the last period of action, the last period of execution. And this time around, we are more wise. We have more knowledge. We are going to take a different route slightly. Does that make sense? Let me know, guys, if this is resonating. Okay. Asking yourself right now, what is the lesson? What is going right in my life? These are some self-reflective questions that we can take when we're taking that rest. Reaching out for help is also a theme that came up. If you feel like you've been having a lot of negativity weighing you down and you've been in this dark cloud, reaching out for help. Maybe you need to ask for help. Remember as well, guys, right now we are going through a very powerful time. We have an eclipse. We have 2 eclipses coming up. The first eclipse is in 2 days. We just had the Lionsgate portal, which was in its peak on the 8th. And so you might notice that at the moment there's a lot going on. We're also in Leo season. And so that is fiery energy. And so there's a lot of intensity right now. I've been noticing so much intensity right now. So many things have been happening, random crazy things. And someone just said they got fired from their job right now. See this as can you see the opportunity in when one door closes, there is now space opened up for new opportunities? The mind often goes into, oh my God, I've lost my job. Like often what the human mind does is we go straight into fear. And the worst fears can come up. Literally, it's always it's a lot of the time rooted in death. Like, I'm going to die. But we don't see it as, it doesn't come up in our minds like, I'm going to die. It's like, oh, I'm not going to have enough money to survive. I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. I'm like, all of these worries of potential things that could happen, of us having associations with whatever's just happened. Ancestral beliefs start to come up. And so you can see this as an opportunity on the spiritual level and on a physical level. What is being revealed to me in this moment? What thoughts and beliefs are coming up to the surface in the moment? Because guys, they're coming up to be purged. They're coming up to become, so that we can become aware of them and let them go. So that we can transition and transform into our next version. And so this is the way I see life. It is this cycle. Always we're going through cycles. You can even observe this in nature just by watching nature. Nature is constantly in cycles, and no season in a cycle is negative. We have a season of death, of destruction, of where in the winter everything starts to shed and we're letting things go. And then we have the summer where things start to bloom. We have spring where we are planting seeds. And this is happening to us on an internal level all the time, on different scales. On a large scale, throughout our whole life, we have giant seasons. And then on smaller scales, we have also got seasons. And so from what I asked this morning, asked my spirit guides, I asked the universe to tell me what it is that the collective needs to hear right now, the people that are going to be coming onto my live, and the answers that I got is that we're going into a season of rest, and that could be a couple days, that could be literally 20 minutes. It could be that whoever is on this, listen to your intuition, guys. Your intuition knows how much rest you need. Your intuition knows when you are nearly on the brink of burnout and you aren't listening to your system. Maybe you've been pushing yourself a little bit too far, or you're about to push yourself a little bit too far. Maybe you've caught yourself just before you did. Maybe you started watching this live just before you pushed yourself too far. And this is your sign. The universe is saying, slow down. Slow down. Why are we trying to rush? What is it that we are rushing for? Have we lost faith? Because what happens is we start to rush when we've lost faith. We've lost trust that we are being supported. Let this be a reminder to you that you are always supported, constantly being supported. You need to ask for help in order to link yourself with the divine. This is you asking for help. This is the divine coming in and saying, they asked for help. Now I can help. Because if you're over here and the divine is like here saying, we have help for you, but you're somewhere else. You're thinking about everything that's going wrong. Okay, let me just come back over here and say, God, how can you help me right now? Okay, cool. Now we have some symbiotic relationship. Now we have an opening. Now we have permission to enter into this human being's life and actually start helping them. But we need to take a breath. We need to take a moment. We need to allow ourselves space. We need to allow ourselves to listen to how the divine is asking us to move. What is our body telling us? Your body is literally an intelligent instrument that was created by the divine. And so when it is asking you to rest, guys, you better fucking answer. You better listen to that. Because otherwise, you are going to be drained. And you will be forced into rest. You don't want to be forced into rest. That's not fun for anyone. Okay, so someone said I tried to rest, but I couldn't sleep last night. This is something that came up in the reading, literally. Is that maybe because, and it's all to do with the Nine of Swords. See how she is up at night? She's in bed. She cannot sleep. Because she is worrying. How many of you guys have been having sleepless nights? Let me know in the chat if you've been having sleepless nights. This is a sign that if you are having sleepless nights, you are way too in the mind and you need to bring yourself back into the body. Do some body scan meditations before bed. This is one of the best things you could do, honestly. If you don't like meditation, have you tried doing cardio to burn up some of that energy that is being used by your mind? Okay. Tajano said, I've been having sleepless nights every day and I've been having them since high school. Okay, then you came to the right place. Yes, I can't shut off my mind. Okay, so this is where we need to start setting the intention. Be easy on yourself. Asking God, asking the universe. Okay, whatever you connect with. Remember to ask for help. Let this be your reminder right now, guys. The universe is literally asking you to ask for help because the universe can't intervene. Your spirit guides, your angels, whatever you connect with, they can't intervene unless you ask for help. And so to the people that are saying that they can't sleep and that you can't shut your mind off, please start asking for help. Please start asking God, please help me how to shut off my mind. Please help me to come to a state of calm and peace. Someone else said it would be nice to not be able to think, to not have to think. Okay. A lot of minds are racing. I want to focus on my academics, but I just keep thinking about results. Yes. Due to which I remain distracted. I feel that I'm less than others. Okay. So you're noticing a lot of your thoughts are being focused on worries about probably that the results are not going to go the way that you wanted to. Because if you were thinking about how the results are going to be good, then you wouldn't be feeling weighed down. But know that your awareness of these thoughts is the first step to start bringing yourself into a more peaceful state. Because guys, we don't want to just start to try to like get rid of our thoughts. That is going to be that is how we get into more resistance, honestly. When we're like, I don't want to think, I don't want to think. We're trying to think our way out of thinking. So we want to bring ourselves into the body and start to notice the feelings that are connected with your thoughts. This is the secret to creating more space in your body, to interrupting that pattern. Like I said before, a thought creates an emotion, and an emotion creates a thought. So the most wisest people on the planet, they understand the connection between emotions and thoughts. Okay? And so the way that we interrupt this cycle of thoughts creating emotions, emotions creating thoughts, is to focus our attention on the cycle. Because if you can think of your consciousness, your energy is like, let's say it's like a stream, okay? And you're feeding it unconsciously into this loop. If you're unconsciously feeding this stream into this loop, meaning that you're so identified with this loop, you actually think that you are this loop. You think that you are the thoughts. You think that you are the feelings. This whole life is literally a pattern interrupt. We are trying to get you to wake up to the fact that you have been in a loop. And so the way that we wake up to this, the way that we start to stop this loop, we stop it in its tracks, is by, instead of unconsciously feeding our stream of consciousness into this loop, unconsciously, is we place our attention onto one thing. We start to feed our attention into one single focus, whether that is our feelings. So choose that. Choose your feelings. What does your intuition want you to do? Does your intuition want you to focus on your feelings right now? Really feel into what you are feeling in the body? This is going to stop. This is going to stop that loop. Because no longer is there energy to feed into more thoughts. So you can imagine it like this, guys. You have a negative thought that has just been created. Let's say it's a negative thought, and the deepest part of this thought is like, I am not good enough, or I am going to fail. Okay? You have that thought. That thought creates this emotion in your body, right? That emotion is actually there to tell you that you are thinking a thought that is out of alignment with your higher self. But when we unconsciously identify with the thought and we have this feeling, it just breeds more thoughts that are of similar nature, that are vibrating at a similar frequency. Because we're unconscious of what's going on. We're unconscious that we are feeding these thoughts. Okay? So then more thoughts get created. Now I'm thinking about how I'm going to lose my house, how I'm not going to be able to pay rent, how I'm going to lose my job, how I'm not going to be able to find another job, how I'm fill in the blank, you know? And now what's happening is this creates more negative emotion in our bodies. I don't even say negative emotion because I don't think emotions are negative, but dark feelings, constriction in the body, feeling weighed down because we're now having all of these thoughts that are completely out of alignment with our higher selves. So we want to put our attention onto one single thing, whether that is the feeling that we're having in our bodies, okay? And notice how when you send your attention into that feeling and you allow yourself to just rest in what is alive in you, in your body right now, trust. Let this be your reminder that you have stopped that loop. You have stopped feeding all of that negativity, all of those thoughts that are based in fear, And you can ask yourself, what is actually true? Maybe what is true is, I'm going to use the example this person said, maybe what is true is that I lost my job. That might be the fact, okay? What the ego likes to do is it will take a fact and it will breed negative stories around the fact. It starts to create meaning of that fact. It starts to create stories about me, about my life, about what's going to happen. But the fact is that I just lost my job. The ego says, this means I'm not good enough. This means I'm not good enough at what I do. I'm never going to get another job. I am going to not be able to buy food. I'm not going to be able to pay rent. So in this moment, we've completely come out of reality and we have completely entered into a dream. And our body is screaming at us. It is saying, oh my God, you're having so many fucking crazy thoughts. And like, it feels so low. But what happens is, because we don't know how to use our system, or we've forgotten how our system works, we just like feel so low. Oh my God, I need to resist this feeling. It's so hard to feel. But when we resist the feeling, come on, you've heard the term resist, what you resist persists, right? Because your body isn't feeling like this for no reason. It's feeling like this because it wants you to wake up to what you're thinking. Okay, Dylan, I'm glad that you're not letting me do that. But I was just using your example, just in case someone else is having a similar situation. So what I was saying is, let's come back to the facts of the situation. Ask God, this is an amazing prayer that I love, is God, help me to replace illusion in my mind with facts. With the facts of the situation. Let me not use all my energy up on stories and dreams that I actually don't know if are true or not. Let me see the opportunity in this situation. Let me see the potential positives of the situation if I have been weighed down with the negative. Okay, Dylan, yes, I'm happy for you. See, you're making moves. That's what we love to see. Okay, cool. I think I literally said everything that I wanted to say. If you guys want to do a Q&A, let's go. Someone was asking earlier about how they can deal with procrastination. So, when it comes to procrastination, something I want to let you guys know is procrastination. Remember this, okay? Procrastination is an absolutely amazing opportunity to find out something about yourself in order to move forwards with more clarity, with more alignment, okay? When we are in a state of procrastination is a form of resistance. When we are in a state of procrastination, we are actually resisting resistance. Guys, do you understand what resistance is? Resistance meaning anything that is out of alignment with our higher selves, thoughts, anything that is out of alignment. So thoughts, feelings, or actions that are out of alignment. So maybe we have a thought that is out of alignment with our actions, with the actions that we want to take, or with our feelings, how we feel about a situation. Maybe our head and our hearts are going in different directions. Maybe we have different parts of us that are going in different directions. This is forms of resistance. Resistance also being thoughts that are more negative. These are resistive thoughts. Resistant. Any emotion that feels more negative is a I can't say the word, is a form of resistance. But it doesn't mean it's negative. like I say negative emotion, but I don't like the word negative emotion because it has this connotation of it being bad. No emotion is bad. All emotion is giving us information. So when we notice that there is resistance in our body, procrastination being a form of resistance, because you think about it like this, right? You've set out to do something. You've told yourself, I'm going to do this. But there is a part of you, and this part of you at the moment is in the driver's seat, is why you are procrastinating. That is saying, I don't want to do that. For some reason, it is resisting doing what you set out to do. So let's look into what is that part of me that is resisting what I set out to do. Ask yourself that question. If you are in this chat and you've been experiencing procrastination, what you can do right now is go inwards. Maybe you want to close your eyes, use it as like a little meditative moment, and ask yourself, why am I resisting right now? Sorry, why am I procrastinating right now? And what message bubbles up to you? Why am I procrastinating right now? What is the first answer that comes to you in that moment? The way that we stop procrastination is by figuring out what that we need to resolve the resistance within us. Think about it like this, guys. When you are fully in alignment, to be fully in alignment, this is how we get into a state of flow, right? We're just taking action and it just feels like that's exactly like right now I'm on live and there's not one part of me that wants to be elsewhere. I'm right here because my thoughts, my words, my actions are all in alignment. Okay, this is what it means to be in alignment. Our thoughts, our words, and our actions are all in alignment. And so when we're procrastinating, there is a part of us that is not in alignment. Maybe there's a part of us that is thinking thoughts that is not in alignment with the other parts of us. Okay? And so in order to resolve procrastination, we need to resolve this resistance. We need to find out what part of us is not on board. What is the part of us that is not in alignment? What is it thinking? What information does it have for us? It might have some very valuable information. There might be a part of us that is saying, I can't move forwards because I need to research something first. And if we bulldoze, if we just try to do what we were doing anyway, we might have missed something important. There might have been a part of us that actually was saying, I don't want to do this. This is not fun for me. I'm not interested in this. We want to listen to that part of us. Or maybe there is a part of us that is in fear. A lot of procrastination is driven by fear. Maybe there is a part of us that is saying, if I continue and do this, I'm going to fail. Maybe it's saying it's a waste of time because I'm going to fail. So what we want to ask ourselves, if that's the case, if that's the answer that you got, because of fear of success, fear of failure, or fear of being seen, fear of being heard, fear of putting myself out there, fear of what people are going to think. The fears are endless. If it is all to do with fear, we want to ask ourselves, is this true? Do I want to align with this fear? Because if we are procrastinating because of fear, we are aligning with fear. And that is how you manifest the fear. Let's say you have a fear that this is going to fail. And you're procrastinating because you're resisting that resistance. You're resisting that fear. You don't want to look at that fear, right? That's what procrastination is. Not always that there's a fear, but procrastination is you don't want to look at something deep that is deeper underneath. And so using the example of fear, let's say that you've realized that there is a fear underneath this procrastination, this fear of failure. You're saying to yourself, if I do this, I may fail. Then ask yourself, do I want to align with this fear that I'm going to fail? Because if the answer is yes, I want to align with this fear, continue procrastinating. Because then what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to fulfill that prophecy. Because you're not even doing the thing that you set out to do. Does that make sense? Or do I want to align with a new belief of, no, this is going to succeed? What do I want to choose? Okay, guys. Did I answer that? Okay, do you have any more questions about what I said? Was there anything that you want me to actually go into deeper with procrastination? Did that make sense? Like, please let me know if that resonated or not, or if it just didn't make any sense to you at all. I don't know. We have to think about with procrastination as well, is that there's many different parts of us existing at once. And so when it comes to getting ourselves resolving that procrastination, we need to just get ourselves back into alignment so that every part of us wants to move towards what it is that we want to move towards. If there is one part of us that is pulling us back, then it's like it is dragging our manifestation energy back. Okay, let's see. After procrastination, I feel guilty and I regret, but still I don't mend my mistakes and I ignore my priorities and keep on doing useless things. Okay, Diksha, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Okay, I'm sorry if I didn't. But listen to me right now, my love. Have you tried asking yourself, why am I procrastinating? What is the answer that you get? What is the reason that you are procrastinating? Can you put it in the chat? Hey, Hugo. Oh, my cousin's here, guys. Be kind to Hugo because he's my little cousin. We love him. Okay, cool. Let's see. Fear can wipe out motivation. Yes. Yes, someone said failing is needed to get into perfection. Exactly. That's why sometimes we procrastinate, because we're afraid of failing. We can start to question that belief. It's like once you uncover the belief that is holding you back, and sometimes it's not about fear. Sometimes procrastination is actually about, I mean, there's always a fear deeply rooted in there, but sometimes it's because we don't want to do something. Sometimes because we've taken a path because we thought that was the path that was best for us based around what other people have been telling us. But sometimes, and that is going to take a different course of action. That's why with procrastination, I couldn't tell you what to do. I can't say, okay, this is what you need to do, because every person is going to be unique. Every person's situation is going to be unique. You need to find out why you're procrastinating in order to choose the course of action that is best for you. Okay, let's continue. I always feel grateful for my moments of laziness. Lovely. Okay, I'm just going to answer. Okay, read. I'm procrastinating because I keep on wasting my time on the phone throughout the day and I just ignore my academics. Okay, yes, that's... But why are you... Have you asked yourself why you are doing that? Like, what is it? What is this part of you that is in resistance? Go to that part of you. Can you feel the resistance in your body? Diksha. Can you go inwards? Maybe closing your eyes. Find that part of you that is in resistance. Like, what does it feel like when just before... Okay, when you want to find that part of you that comes up just before whatever it is that you're trying to push yourself to do, okay? There is going to be a moment where you feel resistance to doing what it is that you want to do. In that moment, catch that part of you and ask, or can you, if you can bring it up now, that feeling that you get, we want to go into that feeling and ask it, why don't you want to do what I'm setting out to do? Why are you in resistance to doing this? What is that part of you saying? Why is that part of you in resistance? Why are you in resistance to doing your academics? Is it because you don't want to? Is it because you're not interested in it? Is it because there's something else that you'd rather be doing? Is it because you're afraid that you will fail if you put your energy into it? What's the answer that you get? Do you believe in astrology? Yes. Because if you don't deal with that part of you that's in resistance, you're going to be... You need to understand why it's in resistance so that you can get it back into alignment. And someone said, just get rid of your phone. That's not going to help. You're still going to have that resistance. You know, you can bulldoze your way through it. But the truth is there's a part of you that has some very, very important information for you that you need to listen to in order to be in, if you want to live in your most aligned state, if you want to be putting your energy towards what you actually came to this earth to do, you need to listen to all of these parts of yourselves. Okay, I'm going to read some more. There's so many things here. Let's see if... Because I'm just like... Okay, so Diksha, I feel that I would not be able to do good in academics. I fear from failure. Okay. So we've uncovered that there is a fear of failure. And so I want to ask you another question. Diksha. When you feel into this part of yourself that is afraid of failing, okay? You can close your eyes, you can feel into it. Really, like, bring that part of yourself to the surface and feel into it. Maybe it's uncomfortable. I want you to ask yourself, for one, notice the thoughts that it's having. Maybe the thoughts that I'm going to fail, right? Ask yourself, is this 100% true? How can I know that this is 100% true? And what's the answer you get? Do you actually think that it's 100% true that you're going to fail? Also, ask yourself, do I want to align with these thoughts? Because remember, what we manifest in our lives is a reflection of our inner world. And so what we're doing here is we're doing deep subconscious work, guys. We're looking into, like, whenever something surfaces in a form of resistance, like procrastination. So remember what I said to you earlier, that procrastination is resistance, resisting resistance. Okay, so when we're procrastinating, we are resisting resistance. So in Diksha's case right here, he or she, I don't know if you are he or she, please let me know, or they're having some resistance in the form of fear of failure. The procrastination was you resisting that resistance because you didn't want to look at that in the beginning. Okay, you weren't aware of there was a fear of failure there. You were doing other things because that fear of failure that comes up is causing you to feel uncomfortable emotion, because whenever we have a thought like I am going to fail, this is going to send alarm signals off in our body. This is how the divine works, guys. This is how our divine nature works. It's so incredibly amazing. You're having a thought that is out of alignment with your higher self. Your higher self does not think thoughts like I am going to fail. Your higher self knows how powerful it is. And so when you are having thoughts, when you're identifying with thoughts like I am going to fail, that's going to send off signals in your body. And so every time you come to do that work that you told yourself you were going to do, and this fear comes up, so every time you come to do that work, you're having this feeling come up, but you don't really know why this feeling comes up. And so you resist this feeling by doing something else because it's so uncomfortable. We don't want to look at it. But we need to start training ourselves to look at what's coming up. Because the more we procrastinate, the deeper we get ourselves into that self-fulfilling prophecy of, can you see how that works though? Like, seriously, guys, can you see how if I'm having a fear of failure and I am resisting that fear of failure, I'm getting myself deeper into failure? Because there is this unconscious belief that is actually running the show. I am actually fulfilling that belief by procrastinating. Okay, I'm still going with the Diksha for now, and we'll continue. Okay, Diksha says, when I was getting good marks, I was motivated more to focus on academics. But when I got less marks, I felt I would not be able to compete with others. That makes so much sense. Because what's happening is there's a belief inside of you that is wanting to be seen. And so every time, of course, when we're getting good marks, when good things are happening, it's motivating. But then what happens when things start to go not as well? This is where faith comes in. This is where trust comes in. We have to start asking God, please help me to have faith. I've lost faith. I've lost trust. Help me to have this faith. But also, like you said, you notice that you feel less motivated when you get low marks. Because you're identifying with fears. Because you're identifying with these thoughts of, I'm going to fail. Or I'm not going to be able to compete with others. In your case. And so again, coming back to asking yourself that question is, how can I know that this is 100% true? Finding proof that using those good marks as proof that you can do well. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Hugo says, do I think reincarnation is real? Yes, I do. Okay, guys, let's see. I'm continuing on. I don't know if Diksha said anything more. He did. Okay, cool. He or she, sorry. Or they. I don't know. I still haven't got the answer. I think I should try to make my topics clear anyhow unless I remember every bit of it. Okay. Okay, Diksha, thank you for your support and understanding. Yes, you're welcome. And continue. Okay, guys, I'm going to answer some more questions now because I think this one has been come to completion. Okay, guys, if anyone has any other questions, now is the time to ask, because I'm now taking new ones. Yes, God, Hugo, I used God for me facing my fears and going to secondary school. Amazing. Love that. Okay, Diksha said I'm a girl. Okay, thank you for clarifying. Okay. Dylan said, why did I not quit in 2023 like I was thinking about? Was it because I was meant to met the girl I met there? I don't know the answer to that, Dylan. You tell me. Why did you not quit? And maybe it was because of that. You You probably know. What's my zodiac sign? I am a Pisces. I'm a Pisces sun. I have a Sagittarius moon, and I have a Capricorn ascendant. I have 4 planets in Pisces. That's why I'm so into the mystical and sacred knowledge, I guess. I'm such a Pisces, guys. But I also very relate to all the other signs in my chart. Okay. Okay, so Vincent, 1996, said, I've just turned 30, had 2 double lung transplants and survived laryngeal cancer. I don't know how to say that word. I've been deemed completely disabled and don't really know where to go from here in my life, but why? Vincent, thank you for sharing. I'm sending you a massive hug. So you don't know why you're alive? No, you said I'm alive, but why? Okay, I guess this is a question you can ask yourself, honestly. This is something that came up. So I did a little card reading earlier, and this was just to help guide the messages for today. Something that came up in the reading was maybe you want to share what you have learned with others. And so maybe that resonates, maybe that doesn't for you. Maybe you have, from the challenges that you have experienced, maybe you've gained a lot of wisdom, life knowledge. And so maybe you need to start sharing that wisdom with other people. But what do you think? Because I do think also it's important for me to ask you, why do you think you're here? What do you think you have to share? Every challenge, guys, holds a gift within it. Is unlocking a part of us that needs to be shared with the world. Every single challenge. And so maybe you have gained a lot of empowerment and wisdom from what you've experienced, but you can tell me this. Okay, guys, I just want to say here that if any of you are enjoying this live and you want to go deeper, I do offer one-to-one sessions, and I have a couple of one-to-one sessions open, spaces left for next week. So if you want to dive deeper into this style of coaching, intuitive readings, then send me an email. My email is in the bio, and you can, in my bio on my YouTube channel, you know, like the page, my profile page, it's in the bio there. I should have put it in the description, but I forgot to do that. It's hello@amylouisesamp.com. So if you want to book yourself in for a one-to-one session, you want to go deeper into anything, then yeah, we can go a lot deeper one-to-one. And so if you're feeling like you need some help and assistance right now, please do that. And if not, and you just want to support the channel, please do subscribe, because this will really help me to get put out to more people and to share the spiritual downloads. And also, yes, you will be supporting, so thank you so much. And also like the live, thank you. How old are you? I'm 30. Okay, please do not spam the chat. Thank you, Ronaldo. You're being timed out for 10 minutes. We do not like spamming. Okay. Dylan, you know, you were saying about why is it that I didn't leave my job? I feel like it's all about perspective, and we have the ability to look at things and give meanings to things. And so if you feel like, you know, there's a reason that you were meant to stay, then there's always a reason, you know, like something that we needed to learn, something maybe that we needed to gain from being somewhere from a longer period of time. There's always something. So otherwise we would have left. Otherwise we would have pivoted or gone somewhere else. Okay, Vincent, 1996. Maybe I've had a few speaking opportunities and speaking at national conference for cystic fibrosis in the fall. After my first transplant, it was the same. I just don't know how to keep the momentum. Vincent, I want to ask you something. What is it that you truly care about? How can you put your energy into that? Remind yourself that there are people out there that are going through the same or similar struggles and themes that you have dealt with in your life, and you have come out the other side and you have gained so much wisdom and knowledge from doing that. And just reminding yourself of how powerful it is when you share your wisdom to others. Please remind yourself of that. And ask yourself, what is it that I truly care about? Because what I notice for myself when I've gone into this state of apathy, not caring, being indifferent, it's because I have forgotten about what I truly care about. And so that's how I get myself back into this state of flow and energy, is that what do I truly, truly care about? If I zoom out and look at this earth, look at this planet from a larger perspective, what is going on this planet? How many people are suffering? How many people are stuck in a state of fear, have lost that faith, have lost hope? What is it that I truly care about? What can I talk about? What can I do? What can I put my energy into that I actually want to put my energy into? What do I want to talk about? What do I, you know? Okay, Vincent says, because all I ever wanted from this life is to help others through it. I know I'm not going to be here as long as you all, but I don't know how to reach all the people I want to help. Well, you could start by asking the universe, asking the divine, God, source, the creator, whatever you connect with, your angels, spirit guides, asking them how you can be of service every day. God, please show me how I can be of service to the whole. Please show me what gifts in me I have so that I can be of service to the whole. And if you all you ever want is to help, then that is something that you need to follow. Do not give up on that. Because trust me, there are enough people on this planet that need your help. They are. Ask the universe to help you to find them. And you will be guided. Trust that you are being sorry. Trust that you are being guided. Okay. Thank you for subscribing, Vincent. Appreciate you. Okay, guys, does anyone have any more questions that they want to go into? Okay, Vincent, well said. I love connecting with people who can't see the other side so they can see if it's possible for better or worse, but I never feel good enough to inspire people to move past the impossible. Okay, Vincent, I so get this feeling because I have had the exact same experience of maybe not the exact same experience, but I have had a very similar experience of not feeling good enough to inspire people. And this is something that you have to work through, honestly, because this is also something that you're going to be helping others to work through. So every time you feel that resistance coming up that is saying I'm not good enough, and it is in some form of message or some form of thought that is linked to I am not good enough, start to really question those thoughts and those beliefs. Remember that they are not coming, they're not coming from you. This is something that is very deeply woven into our collective unconscious, not feeling good enough as a species. And so as we heal these beliefs inside of us, not feeling good enough, we heal the collective unconscious. And so every time this happens, and if you want, Vincent, of course, message me if you want to go deeper into this in a one-to-one. But the way that I have really healed these parts of myself that don't feel good enough, and they still show up sometimes, so it's something that we are going to be recovering from, but it gets a lot better when we put this work into it, is by really listening to what those parts of us are saying when they come up, being with them, sending compassion to them. We don't want to become identified with them so that they are running the show, so that they are taking actions for us, like putting off the work that we said that we would do, putting off taking steps towards what it is that we actually want to feed our energy into. When that happens, it's very linked to what we were talking about with the procrastination earlier, is you might notice that when you want to put steps towards helping others, there's a part of you that says no, or like unconsciously you're like, oh, okay, I'll just watch TV instead, I'll just watch YouTube videos instead, or I'll just read instead, or I'll just do the gardening instead, or I'll just clean up my house instead. You know, it's like, but why am I putting myself off from doing this? If this part of me is saying I'm not good enough in some way, we want to start to understand why it thinks that, and also start to prove it wrong. So for me, one of the ways that I have done this is through my YouTube channel. When I had started my YouTube channel, I used to have a lot of these thoughts about no one cares what I have to say. And so I had to retrain myself to prove that that was not true. And it started off by when I wasn't getting very many views, when I wasn't getting very many comments or even like feedback on YouTube, it would start off with me looking for proof in my actual life of where people care what I have to say. So I would take notes. Every single time a friend or a family member said something to me that proved that people care what I have to say, I will put it into a folder. So as I was making YouTube videos, every time I got one comment from someone that said, this really helped me, I will print that off and put it into a folder. And so every time I get this feeling that is like dragging me back from doing what I actually truly came to this planet to do, which was to inspire, to teach, to empower. Every time I had this little part of me that is saying, no one cares what you have to say, I'll say, okay, let me refer to my book that proves otherwise, because then I can actually prove to myself that this is not true. Okay. And now my folder is growing and growing and growing because I've started to train myself that people do care what I have to say. And now I have an overwhelming amount of evidence for that. So much evidence. And it's only getting bigger. And so my belief for that people care what I have to say is getting bigger. So for you, Vincent, think of a time that proves that someone cared. Maybe one person said to you, this really helped me, thank you. Take note of that. Refer to that. Every time this part of you comes up, this little gremlin part of you comes up and is like, you're not good enough. No one cares. Or like whatever it's saying, because it could come out in the manifestation of so many different ways. Also, something you can do is like ways that we can start to notice deep-rooted beliefs, like these ones, is notice when you've been triggered. Like, for example, I used to get really triggered if I uploaded a video and it got no views. And so there was this part of me that would come up and it would start saying all these negative things towards myself. And so I would go into that part of myself. And you can ask yourself, okay, so this part of me is looking at this situation. The situation is let's say I got 20 views on a video. So what is the meaning that I am making of this? So ask myself, why is this so bad? What do I think this means about me? And then see what comes up. For me, the answer was no one cares. No one cares what you have to say. And so then I asked myself again, why is that so bad? What is the meaning that I am making out of this? Okay, no one cares what I have to say. Why is that so bad? Because it means I'm going to be alone, or it means I'm not going to succeed. Okay, so this is another belief that is underlying that. And you can keep going with this until you find all these different beliefs, until you feel like you've gotten to the root belief. For me, the root belief was no one cares. Like that was like the one that I found deep in there. And then you can start to prove them wrong. Find evidence that proves otherwise. Okay? Thank you, Christy. I saw your beautiful comment. Honestly, guys, the amount of people on this planet that have gifts, that have the gift of empowering, inspiring, sharing what they've learned, their wisdom on the planet. Like, so many people have this gift. Like, we all do. We all have our own unique gifts, and we all have lessons that we've learned that other people would benefit from. But what is happening is we're so afraid. Fear is keeping us disempowered. This is why it's so important to watch what you are taking in, the media that you are taking in, the news that you are taking in. Is it fueling your fear? Because if you are in a state of fear, you are in a state of disempowerment. And know that the planet right now needs empowerment. If we are going to heal this planet, we need every single one of us to be empowered so that we can be in our most creative state, so that we can think of how we're going to really turn this shit around. Okay, Thomas said, why do you choose to live in the West? It's completely opposite of your ideology of peace, meditation, and calm. I love this question. Thank you, Thomas. I was born here for one. And the reason why I choose as well is like, okay, my family are here, but I don't necessarily see that it's a negative thing to live somewhere that is the opposite of my ideology. Maybe I was placed here because this is where I'm needed. That's the way I see it. Sometimes people are placed in certain places. We're all placed somewhere because our energy is needed there, or maybe we feel the need to go somewhere else because our energy is needed there, or because there is something there that is needed for us to become more wise or to learn something new. But right now I choose to be here, and also I am traveling around. I like to travel, so I'm not stuck. I'm not trapped in one place. Thank you guys. Thank you for all of your support. I'm reading your comments and I am noticing some people that are very supportive. Okay. Okay, Vincent, I don't know if you're still here. I saw that Hugo he timed you out. I don't think he understood the comment that you said. And I'm trying to see how I can get you back. Let's see. Does anyone know if you can untime someone or not? But thank you, Hugo, anyway. Vincent, I don't know how long you were timed out for, but your comment basically said cognitive distortions. I recognize them, but can't seem to truly believe that they're just that. And that's fair enough, and that's normal. It's honestly deep work and certain techniques that you can do to shift those beliefs. To you really want to become aware of them. We want to dig them out from the root. This is how we start to shift them. So it is really going deep into the subconscious and becoming aware, honestly, of why, like what we're thinking, and questioning those thoughts. This is the work I do in the one-to-ones, a little bit more on the deeper level, like by asking intuitive questions, finding ways to go deeper so that we can uncover these beliefs. Okay, I'm going down. There's so many. Okay, thank you for Dilly to Chili for your contribution. I didn't see that earlier, so thank you. Okay. Okay, Hugo, goodbye, hun. Thank you for being here, my love. I love you. Okay, does anyone have any other questions, guys? I haven't even eaten today. It's 2 p.m. I need to eat. God, I'll go and have some food in a minute. So what happens when I do my creative things? I don't know, get distracted, you know? Not distracted, just like, bodily functions are just like, honestly, annoying. Someone just said, I'm just curious about this 30 years of knowledge. What do you mean by that? I honestly don't have all the answers, guys. I just share the lessons that I've learned, things that come to my intuition. I'm a musician and a comedian, so yes, I often forget to eat when I'm composing on the piano for 8 hours. So see, you get it. It's like the best thing, really, because it's like, obviously we just want to put our energy into the things that we are creating, and it's amazing. And I love that, but I am, it's like aware that it's like 2 p.m. and I have not eaten anything today. We'll get there. Are you from the USA? No. I'm from the UK. Hugo, you're still here. Does anyone have any more questions around the topic? People who don't know don't want others to know. 30 insightful years are better than 100 years spent in ignorance. Do you know what this also reminds me of? Thank you, Vincent. Is that at any age, you have something to teach others. If you are like a 10-year-old kid that has, like Hugo, right, my little cousin, so much knowledge, for example, when he was younger, and loves to build stuff like Lego. If there is like a kid, for example, another kid in the family that comes and wants to learn Lego, who's going to be the best one to teach Lego to that kid? It's going to be the 10-year-old that has all this experience and knowledge of doing it. So it's not always necessarily that you need to be 100 years old to have wisdom and knowledge. What is it? What areas are you specifically good with? There's going to be someone out there that maybe is just like a few years behind, or even just they're in a situation where they could do with the advice that you have, your specific gift, your specific knowledge. You see, I wouldn't be able to teach anyone how to use Lego, but Hugo, who is a kid, he would be the best person to teach Lego to someone. So all of us have lessons that other people need. All of us. Something that we've learned that someone else will benefit from. Okay, someone said I've given up. I've been asking what the topic is for 10 minutes. I have no reply. I'm so sorry. I did not see that. The topic is, well, we're literally just talking about life from a spiritual perspective. So it's a Q&A right now, okay? earlier we did like an intuitive reading, but now I'm answering questions, and we are going to come to the end of this live soon. So if anyone has a question about purpose, relationships, anything that you're finding is a challenge in your life right now, manifestation, whatever it is that you're trying to create, if you're trying to create something and you're finding there is a lot of obstacles in your way, we can talk about it. Maybe you have a question, something that you want to be answered. Someone said, should we fear God or love him? I don't. I just think love and God are synonyms. Love, God is the same thing. So if you are in a state of fear, then you are not in alignment with God. That's how I see things. It says in A Course of Miracles that our mind is either in service to the divine or to the ego. We are either in a state of fear or in a state of love when it boils down to the essential, like the actual root of things. And so if we're in a state of fear, then we are manifesting from that state. That's why I always, every day that I come on live, you will probably hear me talking about tending to our inner world in some way. Can I get your lip combo, please? I'm wearing Wonder Skin lip stain. It's a whimsical tone, shade, and then I just put some lip balm. But honestly, I don't think it's very good for the lips because sometimes it makes them a bit dry. Okay, I feel like everyone else in my life has their life figured out and I'm still trying to figure out mine. Okay, Abby, thank you for your comment. I think this is a very common feeling to have that we all go through as humans, sometimes feeling like we don't know what we're doing and things are not figured out. And sometimes we have periods in our lives where we feel like everything is going really well, and then sometimes we have periods in our lives where we feel like, what the hell is going on? So that is completely normal. So maybe I have a question for you. Let's think. Well, let me just listen. I want to ask you, Abby, where are you actually currently at in your life? What is it that you're currently doing? What is it that you feel like you need to have figured out? Thank you, Tania. Can you play that instrument in the background? Not very well, a little bit. Johnny says, I feel scared. Why do you feel scared, my love? Yes, the guitar. Do play yoga before bed somewhat helped, but I've got severe PTSD and haven't slept in weeks. Ugh. I don't know if you were here earlier, but I was pulling the I actually pulled the cards before I came on the live just to like guide me through what the people on the live were needing right now. And one of the things that came up, Vincent, was this card. Were you here when I showed this? And it was the card of like not, basically it's like worrying, but if you can see in this card, she's in bed, she can't sleep. And so many people have said on this live today that they haven't been able to sleep and they've been having sleepless nights. So doing things to calm the mind has been a very, very big theme on this live. I don't know if you've ever tried like body scan meditations. This is really helpful before bed. And you asked me if I play the guitar. I have had periods of my life where I have just sat and like played the guitar, like playing around with it. I haven't done that in a while, so, and I'm not, you know, the best, but I'm okay. Okay, someone said I feel like I'm dealing with the fact of why men need women in this day and age. Marriage, etc. I want to find a way to replace traditional relationships in a way I'm not dependent on a woman ever. Okay, that's a really interesting question. Okay, my question to you for this comment is why, I want to ask you, why do you think women are needed for your life? I feel like we all could benefit from really asking ourselves these questions. If it's not just for the enjoyment, enjoying each other's company, enjoying the gifts that everyone has to offer, like not even needing women, but just needing people in general. Does it matter? You know, of course, like, oh, this is such a deep topic, so I don't really know where to begin. Let me think. I think it's very different for every individual of why you need someone of the opposite sex in your life. And maybe it's not just for romantic partnership, but for just community in general. Why do we need the opposite sex in our communities? Because we do need both sexes in our communities. We do need both men and women in our communities. We wouldn't work as a species without both. And I think it's a question that we do really need to start asking ourselves, because there's so much conflict between the genders, men and women these days. There's so much that I see online, and I understand why. I'm understanding more why. And of course, there've been lots of challenges. But how can we unite? That's what I want to know. How can we unite? How can we work together as one? We're all needed. We're all so needed, guys. Okay, Abby, answer my question. I just figured out my age. I just figured at my age, I should have ideas of what I want to do in my life. Okay, Abby, so normal. Can I ask how old you are, my love? Why do you think you need to have an idea of what you want to do in your life? Why do you think that wherever you are right now should be any different? I think this is what happens with the ego, is it starts to look at our life situation and make all of this meaning and stories out of what is currently true for us right now. And this is how we start to go so into the mind. And when we're in this state where we're thinking about what I don't have, what I haven't achieved yet, and this is exactly what we were talking about earlier, this Nine of Swords card, right? Very linked to this. We're very much focusing on what I haven't got, what I haven't achieved, and worrying about what might go wrong for us. Thinking that things should be different, but this is how things are. We get very lost in all of this mental noise, okay? When we get lost in this mental noise, there's less space for those ideas to come through. So it's like a paradox, because it's like the more we think about how things aren't how we want them to be, the less space we're giving ourselves to actually find the answer, or to find some inspiration. We need to find space. Accepting where we are right now, surrendering to where we are right now, even just accepting that there is a resistance inside of you that is saying, I should know the answers, I should have an idea. Accepting that there is that part of you that feels that, letting it be there, having compassion for it, telling yourself it's completely normal to feel that way, I'm completely here with you, allowing that part of you to just be, letting it pass, bringing yourself to stillness, really feeling in your body how it feels to be you right now, and finding that stillness in your day, coming to rest, allowing yourself to rest, Abby, because this has been a theme that has been coming up as well in this live, is that it's time to recharge. And what happens is when we have this feeling of I should have everything figured out, a lot of the time we're not allowing ourselves to recharge because we feel like we need to figure it out right now. But what is the rush? Slow yourself down. Let's all just slow down a little bit. Trust that the ideas will come to us when we need them. We will get guidance when it is needed. This is what it means to have faith. Having faith that the answers, the ideas, the nudges, the intuition, the inspiration, the ideas, they all come to us at the right time. The only thing that we need to do, our only job, is to make space for the divine to enter into our lives. So our only job is to observe, listen, and be an open channel for inspiration. Recharging, slowing down, allowing ourselves to actually have deep relaxation. Opening up space for ideas to flow in, because all the time that we are thinking, lots and lots and lots of thoughts, they're taking up space. The infinite inspiration from the divine can't enter in when we are taking up so much space in our aura with all these worries and thoughts about the future, about what's going wrong, about what's not working for us. It's taking up a lot of space. It's draining a lot of our energy. So we want to start to open up that space, coming into stillness, focusing on the breath, being in nature, sitting by a tree, focusing on your breath, focusing on the candle, looking at the sky. Maybe you want to go for a run, burn up that energy for 20 minutes. Whatever way you can find to find stillness. Know that when you do this, you are bringing more consciousness onto the planet through your vessel. And allow that space to open so that inspiration can come in. Accept whatever is alive in your body right now. We're not trying to get rid of it. We're not trying to get rid of that part of us that is saying, I should have this figured out. No, I don't want to get rid of it. I'm just going to be with it. This is what's alive in me right now. It's completely normal. And it's okay. Okay, I need a little stretch. And then we'll do maybe continue. I've definitely been having sleepless nights. This is a very big theme in today's chat. Guys, honestly, having a daily practice of bringing stillness into your life will shift your life completely. How many of you guys already have a daily practice, even 20 minutes, 10 minutes of bringing stillness into your life? If you don't, this is a sign. Like, this is not a coincidence, guys, that you joined this live and I'm saying this to you. Please take this as a message from the universe that you are being guided to start bringing more spaciousness, bringing more stillness into your system. This is a massive message that the divine is bringing onto earth at this time to the collective. Because we all need to be doing it. This is how we shift the frequency of our species. By slowing down, by listening to our intuition. We have the power to transform our species into a empowered, intuitive, magical, we already are, but lighting up our magic even more, using our skills even more, sharpening our swords, our tools even more. But it's going to take every individual to make the choice to do that. Okay, West and East can never meet. You are not raised for meditation. Your education, culture, and society don't allow it. Rakesh, thank you for your comment. I have to say I disagree. Yes, there is some truth to what you're saying. Maybe in the West, we are not raised to do that, but I have been meditating for the last 10 years. I don't think that is a coincidence. I think that it's clearly needed on the planet. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been so drawn into doing it. It has helped me so much that I am spreading the news. I'm spreading the word. And this has to start somewhere. And it's not just me that's doing that. There is many, many other people that are doing this because we have realized how helpful it is, how needed it is for us to return back to our bodies, for us to listen to ourselves. And so, yes, maybe it's more prominent in the East, and there have been leaders and masters that have come and shared this knowledge and shared this wisdom. But why can't this happen also in the West? Why can't that also happen here? And as we shift internally, society shifts externally. As we shift internally, our education system shifts, our culture shifts. We have to have faith in ourselves, though, guys. So I'm out here spreading this. Okay, hey Amy, where did you get that from? Where did I get what from? Okay. Okay, someone said hard for some to say. Simple in complex life. Breathing 5 minutes a day helps a lot. Yes, yes, conscious breath helps so much. It's crazy how such a small practice can literally shift your whole day. prayer as well is something that I am very much an advocate for. What do you upload on this channel? Thank you, Rahul. I'm mostly doing lives these days, honestly. But I upload spiritual lessons that I've learned. I like to talk about things that are to do with the mysteries of the universe. We talk about sacred wisdom and, yeah, things that are helping us to level up the species, level up our planet. It all starts from within. I had an idea, guys. Maybe I will pull one more card. What do you think? Say yes if you want me to pull a card. We'll do one more for the collective, like for this group, and we'll see what it's saying. Where are my cards? I don't even know where they are, so. Okay, cool. A couple people said yes. Let's see. Oh, my legs are so sore from just sitting there like that for like however long it's been. But this has been such a good live. I really enjoyed it, guys. It's been so good to chat with you all. Okay, so these cards got given to me by a friend who was just getting rid of them, and I never had the intention of buying tarot cards. Don't know why, just never did. And then someone gave these to me, and I feel like they were so meant for me. Like, I have such a connection with these cards. I don't even use them that much, but when I do, the messages are always so spot on. I've had so many crazy moments with these cards. Okay, God, angels, guides, thank you for giving us the message that is most needed for whoever is on this live right now. We trust that the message that is being given is in alignment and something that we need to hear, all of us. Thank you, God. Thank you, angels. Let's see what comes out. I also never thought I'd be doing tarot on live, but today I just felt like it, so I was like, fuck it. Let's see. Okay, we got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 9 of Cups reversed. Let me just see if I counted that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 9 of Cups reversed. Okay, I'm going to refer to the book and see what this means, because I actually have no idea, but I know it's to do with emotions. Because the Cups is all to do with the emotional body. It's very linked with the element of water in astrology. You didn't know that already? Did we say 9 of Cups? Let's see. 9. Yes. Okay, so the 9 of Cups reversed. This is what it's saying, guys, for us. Guys, if you're going to come on here and say that this is witchcraft or demonic, honestly, please just move on. This is not for you. We're going to continue regardless, so. Even when it appears, okay, that you have done everything. This is the reverse tarot meeting, so I'm just going to read it to you, okay? I have this giant book, which is really good. Okay, even when it appears that you have everything you've ever dreamed of, it can still feel like something is missing deep down. Have you pursued material gain at the expense of your spiritual growth or emotional fulfillment? For example, you might own the most expensive home or car on the block, but you never see your friends and family and are pretty miserable. This is the essence of the reversed 9 of Cups. When it emerges in a tarot reading, it asks you to reconsider what you're wishing for and align it with your highest good. You may have lost touch with what's important to you, instead favoring the ego and chasing what will impress others. The reverse 9 of Cups is also a sign that instead of looking outside of yourself for your happiness, you should search within. We've been saying this a lot today. Success and happiness means different things to different people. So instead of doing what you think will make other people happy, do what will make you happy. Ask yourself, what does success look like to me? And how will I know when I'm successful? If your outside world is not bringing contentment, Change your definition of success. Sometimes the reversed Nine of Cups suggests that you are frustrated that your wishes have not yet come true. Your expectations may be unrealistic, or you may not be actively pursuing your dreams, hoping that they will manifest with little input or action from you. You may have chosen goals that are not satisfying to you, and if so, it's best to let them fall by the wayside. Now is the time to reconnect with your goals and dreams and recommit to bringing them to fruition. You may need to tweak your goals to keep them in full alignment with your personal values. And you may need to be more proactive in creating an action plan to see your goals come to fruition. The Nine of Cups reversed serves as a reminder not to overindulge at the expense of your health and well-being. You may be prone to overdoing it on food, alcohol, drugs, partying, or spending. Keep everything in moderation and focus on the long-term consequences of your actions, even if they bring short-term pleasure. Cool. Did that resonate with you guys? Let me know. Let me know what parts resonated, if it did resonate for you. Or just say yes if it did. Someone said no. Okay, well, we give what we give. If it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, that's okay. Hey, Maite! Okay, my friend Maite. I don't know if I'm meant to say your name. Sorry if you don't want me to. Losty! Okay, it definitely did. Abby, I was thinking of you when I was reading this because I was like, this links with what you were saying earlier. It really reminded me. And I know there are other people in the chat that will also be resonating, because whenever there's a group of people, there's something in there like vibrationally that is like tying us together, that is bringing us together. And so I know that some people will be definitely resonating. And so I hope you got the messages that you needed. It did for me as well. Okay, amazing, Whisper Willow. Great. Guys, just as a little request, if you want to support my channel, you want to support me in general, and you've been enjoying this, please do subscribe. Please do like. And if you feel like you have anyone that would benefit from like the talks that we've been having, then definitely share. That would be great as well. If you want to also, you know, share the messages that I'm sharing. Empowerment for the planet. And yeah, so that would be great if you did share, if that felt like something you wanted to do and that was on your heart. Then I appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing as well, Abby. Thank you. And of course, just before I go, it is like I've got 2% on my phone and I haven't eaten, so I'm gonna go and eat. But I have a couple of spaces open for one-to-one sessions next week. So if anyone wants a reading, an intuitive reading, we can use the cards. I go into it. There's many different ways that I work. It really depends on the person and what they are dealing with. I will also offer a, I also do offer a discovery call. It's like a 15-minute call, so you really have nothing to lose. Some people do actually just find that they get value out of that 15-minute. It's non-committal call, just to see if we actually would work well together and if I can help you. And so if you feel like that is something that you want to do, then please do. Let me find my charger so I don't die on you guys. Hang on, guys, because I've got 1%. It's a little bit of a rush. Okay, I'm back. My phone. Okay, what was I saying? Yes, if you want to do that, want to go deeper, connect with yourself on a deeper level, There's a couple spaces open for next week. So you can send me an email. It's hello@amylouisesamp.com. And my email is also in my bio on my profile. So typical of you to have 2% of battery. Actually, Losty, you literally just came on when I had 2%. I've had this whole live and I have had good percentage. But it's funny because my other friend always calls me 1% Ames, which I just think is a coincidence that he always sees me when I have no battery. Of course I don't live my life with no battery. But yeah. But yes, I'm gonna go now, guys. I actually had such a good live today. It was so good with you. I kind of want to stay a little bit longer, but I need to eat. And I'm just happy that Maita's here. She's like one of my best friends, guys. So nice to see you. Yeah, thank you all for being here, and your input into the conversations has been insightful, helpful, and I'm gonna keep doing lives like this. I really enjoyed the whole, like, using the cards. I feel like it gave me a lot of information about what the group was needing, and so I'm gonna keep doing that, which has been something I've been resisting for a while, honestly, is like using tarot. I don't know why. I guess it's because of all of the projections that tarot has, and that I never really saw myself as a like tarot card reader, but it honestly makes so much sense because I love tarot. I love things like that. But you know, I'm always changing. I'm always changing. I'm always shifting. I'm always doing different things. So we'll see. Maybe I'll do it for a little while. Maybe sometimes I'll use the cards. Sometimes I won't. Sometimes we'll pray. And let's do a little prayer actually before I go. Just to set the intentions of the day. Whatever time it is where you are, doesn't really matter. But something I like to do is just to ask God, thank you. I like to say thank you, first of all. Thank you, God, for guiding me throughout the day. First of all, actually, thank you for another day on earth, in this body. May we be reminded that this time is fleeting. So God, thank you for this opportunity to experience the body that I'm in right now. Please show me what gifts I have so that I can be of service to the whole in a way that is in harmony with my nature, so that I can empower others, so that I can lift others up. Show me how to do that in my own unique way. God, show me how I can be of service. God, help me to be present today with every single person that I come across, every single person that I interact with. Please help me to be present with them, to listen deeply. Please help me to hear with discerning ears so that I know what is needed from me in any given moment today. Thank you, God. May you shine light on all beings on this earth. Maybe there's someone in your mind that you want to pray for. I like to do that too. It could be someone that you're even having a conflict with, someone that has betrayed you, someone that has made your life difficult in some way. I always pray for those people because I know they're suffering. I know that they are they're going through hardships. So I pray for them. God, please help them to be better people. Please help them to come out of this darker phase in their life. And God, just guide me. Help me to have faith where I've lost faith. Help me to trust where I have lost trust. Help me to restore my faith in the divine. God, please show me the connectedness of all things, of all beings. Help us to all be reminded of our power on the planet when we come together, when we unite, when we lift each other up, when we create, when we share our creations. May we all be reminded of this power. And I could keep praying forever, but I'm not going to. Thank you, guys. And so it is. May you all have a beautiful day. I'm sending you all so much love and blessings. And yeah. I will see you later. Peace. Namaste. Have a beautiful day. Love you, Hugo. Love you, Mata. Love you all. Bye. Have a great day, guys. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.